Welcome into the Upstate Pulse pre-show.
Are you shopping for a new home?
And then
With a zero closing cost mortgage from Cap Center, you could save thousands of dollars compared to other lenders.
This is my third time using Cap Center. It's always a completely painless experience. I can't understand why anyone would use another company to pay closing costs.
You're sharing,
Cap your home buying costs. Visit capcenter.com. Equal housing lender. Visit capcenter.com for rate savings and offer limitations. This ad contains real client feedback voiced by actors. NMLS ID 67717. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Buying a house can be difficult. There aren't many available, or they're off the market before you get a chance to see it. Have you considered building? A2E Builders proudly builds custom homes for the WORD audience and would love to talk with you from the first step to the final step. A2E Builders walks you through the entire process until they hand you the keys. Find out if now is the right time to build your dream home. It all starts with a conversation. Call A2E Builders today at 864-238-2304 or online at a2ebuilders.com. That's a2ebuilders.com.
The Upstate Pulse is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
This is the Upstate Pulse on 106.3 WORD.
Wake up and smell the future, man.
The heartbeat of what's trending in the Upstate.
What do people need is somebody that knows what's going on in the community.
The world.
That's going to be bigger than the internet.
And the known universe.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
It's the Upstate Pulse on 106.3 WORD.
Brought to you by Borderlands Comics and Games.
You're on the air.
Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday night, and there are a lot of people out there on the road. So I know there are a lot of people listening right now. Welcome in. I hope you're going to have – listen, I know you're going to have a good time. How could you not have a good time on this program? Now, you may be wondering, what is this program? Well, this program is your morning show on the weekend at night. So we're just going to be goofy and have a good time and talk about a bunch of nonsense. You know why? Because you get plenty of other stuff, all the serious stuff during the week when you are listening to our award-winning program. And it is award-winning programming. Trust me. We got a lobby full of trophies, and we got a ton of award-winning people. And so, but those guys talk about the serious stuff, even though they also are a little bit goofy too. The rest of the goofy's on us. That's what we do, including we say hello to Tim. Hey, Tim.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
T2 is here. Matthew Causey is here.
I am also here.
For the next 2 hours, we are going to be talking video games. We're going to review She-Hulk. Tim is going to review House of the Dragon because I haven't watched it yet. And so I'm guessing Tim hasn't watched She-Hulk yet.
No.
See, there we go. And I'm guessing that Matthew hasn't watched either one.
I've watched She-Hulk.
Okay, there we go. So I can at least have a conversation with one person. Did you watch House of the Dragon? No, you didn't. So Tim can have a conversation with you. And here's how he can have a conversation with you. First of all, with our text line, which is 71307. Send us some texts. Matthew will read them in his wonderful news voice.
I will indeed.
Especially since Tim didn't bring his glasses again. He was squinting earlier. And did you lose them again?
No, I just didn't wear them tonight.
Wow. Just didn't wear them. That's horrible. That is horrible. All right. We got a bunch of guys in here tonight already, including Lisa and Chris and Angry Zach. And Chris wants to know about Witcher 2. I already watched that like a while ago. If you want to talk about it, ask some questions and I will answer them. Apparently there's an echo. Oh, I know why. Because Tim, I got it. What you doing, man? You unmuted yourself. Why would you do that?
I didn't unmute myself.
You had to unmute because I didn't.
It was muted when I came in.
It was. Matthew must have did it. Okay, so that should take care of the echo. Zach has already given me a thumbs down, and I know what it's about. It's about She-Hulk because he doesn't like it. So we're going to be discussing that. Or maybe he's giving me a thumbs down because he knows that I am going to talk about CM Punk today. And I won't be the only one who knows what I'm talking about the ultimate squash that made me so happy just a few nights ago. All right. What's everybody doing? How you doing? I'm not talking to you guys. I don't care what you guys are doing. I'm talking about everybody else out there. Again, we're also on Facebook, 106.3 WORD, Facebook page, Upstate Pulse. Also, we're also on Twitch and YouTube. So if you're at home, you're not doing anything on a Saturday night and you want to feel like you're watching us on TV, just throw us up on YouTube TV and on your TV through your console or through however, if you have a smart TV, whatever, put us up there.
You got options.
You do. You absolutely have options, and you get to see us. Someone's already asking about Cameron, show contributor Cameron. Why is show contributor Cameron not here? All right. There are good excuses. Sometimes there are excuses like I had to go to a wedding. Sometimes there are excuses I'm sick and I can't come in. Sometimes there are excuses of you don't pay me, I just ain't coming. So there are a lot of reasons, but I think this is a very good excuse. And I want to ask you guys listening and watching, and especially the guys in the room, is this a good excuse? Cameron's not here because he's raiding. The latest worldwide raid for Destiny 2 dropped today, and Cameron is raiding, trying to win some stuff. He's got, if you win a raid, you get the option to buy jackets and rings and t-shirts and stuff like that at a discounted price that no one else can buy unless you've actually won the raid. And he's got some of those. Pretty proud that he's able to do that. I played Destiny 2 some. It's just not that fun to me.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, it is fun. It's just, I don't like.
You can't win.
I just don't like the idea of an MMO style shooter.
But you can't win.
That's just,
I don't have any issues with an MMO style shooter, but I'm not a huge fan of Destiny. Mostly it's just not my kind of thing. Shooters in general aren't my kind of thing. But I'm a huge MMO guy, so I understand. And I'm also calling him out on it.
Are you? Okay.
Oh,
all
yeah,
right.
no.
All right. You're calling him out on it. I get that. But I'm okay with it. Now, if he was a paid employee, maybe I'd, have a problem with it. But, he just comes to hang out with his dad and for the fame. I think it's more for the fame.
Oh, it's all about the fame.
Yeah. Once you get recognized once,
the life of luxury.
You get a taste of it. And when someone came up to him, we were in Walmart and said, "Hey, are you Cameron?"
Oh,
and
awesome.
I was there with them. I was fine with it. And it's like, I love watching you on Saturday night. Like, there you go. There you go. So it's the fame. It's not working with your dad. I mean, because, how much fun can I be? So anyway, that's why he's not here. Hopefully he's doing well. He's one of those guys that's sought after. And that's a good thing, to be sought after. People want you to play with them because you're that good at something. I don't think I've ever been that way on a video game because I just like playing solo stuff.
I like a mix of both. I like having some of those solo experiences, but I also love going online and being able to play things either with random people or with friends. So
there's a game coming up that we're going to talk about when we talk video games that I am looking forward to, and I'm not going to tease it too much, but I'm guessing it's going to be. I'm the only one in the room that's going to know what it is. I hope not. There's a chance. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and say Killer Clowns from Outer Space has a video game coming up. Have either of you seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No, I'm not a huge horror movie guy.
Okay, so it came out in 1988, so neither of you were born.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Spelled with K's.
Nice.
Yeah. Look it up just to see the pictures.
I'm aware of it. I've just never seen it.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. So you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about it since I brought it up. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, one of my favorite. It's a campy horror movie. It's not scary. It's
like more of a slasher. Or?
No. Here's what they do. They're killer clowns and they're from outer space.
I mean, I kind of assumed that already, but
so what they do is they zap you and turn you into human cotton candy.
Oh, nice.
And then they have those big squiggly straws, those squiggly straws that have all the different shapes that you love when you're a kid and secretly love as an adult. They stick it into the cotton candy that's hanging from the ceiling of their spaceship, and they drink their blood.
Nice.
And here's how you kill the killer clowns. You bust their nose.
Is that it?
If you bust their big red nose, they explode.
Oh my God, I'm going home to watch this movie.
Oh no. And it's you got two dudes that are driving around in an ice cream truck. So it's ultra campy, not scary at all.
Kind of like a goofy one.
Yeah, it's very goofy. It absolutely is.
I don't mind scary movies like that.
Their guns shoot out popcorn and which turn into little clowns, and it's just a lot of stuff. The best scene in the entire movie is one of the clowns is outside of a pizza place, and he's trying to beckon a little girl to come out. I know how this sounds. It's a movie, okay? He's got a huge hammer behind his back. Like, you never see him do it, but he's trying to get her to come, because they're taking over this entire town.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a drunk sheriff who doesn't believe anybody in any of the phone calls.
Well, of course not.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't.
Yeah, so so what this game is, it's a multiplayer, but I'm still interested in it. It's a 3-on-7. It's made by the makers who made Friday the 13th. And Friday the 13th, that game I never played, but it looked pretty cool. One person randomly gets to be Jason. Everybody else are the campers. That's how that game works.
Nice.
So how this works is 3 people get to be clowns. 7 people get to be humans trying to stop the clowns from taking over the earth.
Okay, they did something similar to that in the what was it? The Star Wars shooter game. What was it? Empire something or other. But yeah, they did something similar to that where you could be like Darth Vader or any of like Luke Skywalker, any of those guys, and it was only one person that was, and the rest of everybody else was. Like,
are you talking about Star Wars Battlefront games?
Battlefront, that's it.
Okay, because those are definitely a bit different. That's kind of a big.
I said kind of. I said kind of.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the Facebook stream really quick. Zach says, "I'll never forget that guy in the box at that high school football game that came up to you and I and said, 'Are you angry, Zach?' First and last time for me, haha." And he did. The guy had no idea who I was. I told him who I was, and he just kind of blew me off. All he wanted to do was talk to Zach, because Zach was producing the afternoon show on the sports station, and he and I were being tortured by doing a high school scoreboard show
nice.
That I didn't want to do, but so I made them do it too. But he and I, what we would do is for one season, and it was my favorite season on the Friday Night Wrap, we went to watch a half of football every Friday night, and we would go in and we'd sit on the visitor side. Then we'd come back and critique the stadium announcer and their food. To the point where a couple stadium announcers were like, "Did I do okay? Did I do all right? You're not going to go back on the air and say anything about me, right?" Like, no. So we would go sit on the visitor side and just make fun. I mean, that's just what we would do.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Which I know it goes against my character, and it's not something people are used to. Me actually cracking or making light of a situation, because I'm normally a very serious person.
Of course.
Yeah. Sometimes
it was a lot of it was a lot of fun. Zach also says y'all wouldn't believe people after that clown pandemic we had around a handful of years ago. Remember when clowns were just popping up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a documentary about Wrinkles the Clown, and it references that time period. It's on Hulu. It's called the guy was Wrinkles the Clown, and parents actually he put his phone number all over town. And the flyer was like, "Oh, well, I'll come and scare your kids if they're misbehaving." And people were doing it. It's hilarious. You gotta watch it.
That's cruel. It really is.
But no,
clowns are people too. I don't know why people are afraid of clowns. And we're coming up. Halloween's coming up.
Well, the guy ended up. The guy
not anymore, but
the guy ended up like getting like really famous out of it. He lives down in Florida.
Oh, that's cool.
And
not cool for the kids who got scared by the guy.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, but like it was funny because like in the doc, they're sitting there like, "You better be good, or I'm gonna call Wrinkles the Clown." And I was sitting there, I'm like, "Oh my god, it's terrible." But I don't know. I wouldn't have done that.
Should parents be liable for therapy for things like that when they do that sort of things to their children? Because I, might have left some balloons after watching it in people's rooms. I might have done that. Yeah. I might have.
Well, it's really funny
because I don't know if you knew about this, but balloons, they float.
Oh yeah, I knew that. But it's really funny because like kids now call him they'll call him and he'll be like, "You better be listening to your ma," like that, and it's just really funny. Man.
What does he sound like? Krusty?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, that's
he sounds almost exactly like Krusty.
That's pretty weird. All right, we're getting ready to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some Hulk. We're going to talk some House of Dragon. As we go to break, though, Trey on the Facebook stream says, "I've never seen Killer Clowns, but I remember seeing it at Blockbuster. Yeah, they had a ton of them. I think about Little Shop of Horrors and Attack of the Killer Tomatoes being in that section. It's along the vein of those. You could probably like throw in Toxic Avenger, although Toxic Avenger is much more adult." You're listening to the Upstate Pulse. They're remaking that, by the way, with Peter Dinklage. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. Continuing live on the 106.3 and Upstate Pulse Facebook pages and the YouTube and Twitch page. Do we have any text messages?
We have a few coming in. One of the main things was, I don't know how we address it.
Yes, we'll come back and address it.
Yeah.
We'll come back and put the blame where the blame lies, and it's not with any of us. Because we were all ready to, all right, 2 of us were ready to go. Tim probably forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I had my headphones on. That's why I was.
He does it.
Nope.
We were talking about D&D.
Yeah, well, I had my headphones on when you started the conversation. Let's see.
Remember your answer. Don't forget your answer. He's still confused.
No, I'm trying to see if.
Just say bro, man. Just say bro. Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
That's what we were waiting for.
By the way, yesterday I was training a guy named Tron. Really cool dude. Black dude. I think he's probably in his 30s, probably about the same age as Tim. I brought him in here just because I wanted to see 2 people with dreads in the same room. That's the only reason why I brought him in here. And I said that, and you probably believe me. I don't think he did.
No, I definitely.
Yeah, I just brought him in here so I could just look.
Yeah, I definitely believe you on that.
I wanted to see if there's a connection, if there was like
a spiritual connection between their
dreads.
Yeah,
we had a good connection.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. I want to see if two guys with dreads will look at each other and go, "Dude." That's kind of what happened. So
yeah, that's exactly what happened.
It was a social
like
experiment.
Hair, man.
I wanted to see what would happen. So
yeah, I was like, yeah, I like the hair, dude. He was like, yeah, man. Oh man. All right. So how we doing on analytics right now? Let's see.
Hey, you worry about that stuff later, okay?
I know. I'm sorry.
Get your mind into the show.
It's
almost your segment.
Oh, why are we doing the House of the Dragon?
We'll do House of Dragon first because She-Hulk's already got some hate, and it's going to get some more hate.
All right.
Yep.
Ooh, Chris says, or maybe they decide they must destroy the other because there can be only one. Talking about the dreads.
Ooh.
Either way, I would have been entertained.
Right? Pop in a battle axe here and there.
Dude, I don't know what happened. I brought him in the room. Next thing you know, things went crazy.
Oh, man. That'd be funny to watch, though. We should do that one night.
All right, calm down, Zach. Quit being so angry, man.
Wow. Little much.
I get where he's coming from to a certain degree. I don't agree with him, but I get where he's coming from.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still getting people on the Rob Brown show asking me if I'm going to watch Andor. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to come on the show and I'm going to completely slam it.
Hey.
Because none of those people are making it out alive. Ooh, all the people who died in Rogue One, we get to see them younger.
Wow.
They're still going to die.
Wow.
Every single one of them.
Wow.
All right, 30 seconds.
I know, Zach.
That is on brand.
Okay, Chris. I'll do that. I'm sure we'll get plenty of Cowboys fans wanting to talk. Falcons fans, maybe not so much. I think they're going to be better than he thinks because of Mariota is probably going to be decent. At least he looked good in preseason. We'll see.
Yay, sport ball.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Alonzo, T2, and Matthew here. You know what? I can't hear Pinky and not be happy. That's why I put that in there as a rejoin, because Pinky and the Brain. I am curious though. Tim, have you ever watched Pinky and the Brain?
Yes, I used to love that show.
Hello.
Thank goodness.
Yes, I was really concerned. If you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307. And Matthew, we have some texts.
We do have a few texts coming in. A couple people commenting at the end of our little comment about some killer clowns who happen to be from space. One individual wanted to comment about, guys, the spaceships look like circus big tops. Classic.
They do. That's the cool part. It looks like you're walking into a circus. Yeah, and except it's a spaceship.
And another comment coming in, killer dwarf clowns are from my childhood nightmare. So maybe they should avoid.
Oh no, they have some. There are some.
Oh wait, actually, that's in the movie.
There's some shorter clowns. Yes.
Oh,
there's like some 7 foot tall clowns, and then there's like some 4 foot tall clowns. Yes.
You know what? That's on brand for clowns. I get that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And if I recall, I think during a chase scene, they all get out of the clown car.
I'm just like imagining this in my head.
Oh, dude, it's so, and the dialogue is corny, and it's overacted. It just makes it.
Yes.
That's why it is a cult classic.
I love corny
things like
stuff
that.
like that.
You know, when you hear cult classic, I know when I was a kid, when I heard cult classic, I thought it was talking about, Jim Jones and stuff like that. It's about cults, but no, it's not. Cult classics means that
don't drink the Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah, because no matter how good it tastes, just stay away from it. Cult classics are when something didn't do so great at the theater, but then it takes off. Back in the day on VHS.
Yep.
And that's how old it is. It took off on VHS.
Oh, okay. Yeah. VHS. I actually had a VHS player when I was a kid.
That's cool.
I did. I grew up with a VHS player. I still have some VHS.
Yeah, dude. I have like a whole cabinet full of them still.
No.
Excuse me. Let us talk. We're going to talk She-Hulk, but we're going to hold on because the anger is already there. The anger is already there. And I get it. And we're going to talk that. But speaking of anger, there was a show about dragons, supposedly about dragons.
Right.
The dragons didn't show up to like the 7th or 8th season or something like that. I don't know, because I didn't make it past season 1. That people Game of Thrones.
I think it was definitely the second season.
Game of Thrones that people were so into, and me being the contrarian, I guess, is the reason why I never watched it, or maybe. My kids were still in the house at the time. I don't know what it was, but I just never got into it. I tried to watch it later to try to befriend a host that I was working with at the time. And I couldn't even do it for that reason. And probably a good move because it didn't work out anyway.
The original ending of Game of Thrones is not an ideal one.
Yeah, people were completely angry about this. And I was going to give this a shot, but I was warned away from it, saying it wasn't for me. So, because I knew some other people were going to watch it, and probably I should watch it so we could talk about it. But you know what? I don't have to, because T2 is a Game of Thrones expert, and he watched how many episodes are out? Just one?
One episode of House of the Dragon.
All right.
Well, we had one texter come in and say that they thought that Matt Smith stole the show. So what do you think about that, Tim?
All right. See, that's the one thing that would make me watch it, because Matt Smith was a pretty good Doctor Who.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know about all that. But I will say that on my initial watch of it, because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. My initial watch through of it was.
Is it wrong of me that I just want you to spoil? It's been how?
I know.
When did it come out?
It came out last week.
So it's been a week. Go ahead and spoil.
Okay, fine then. All right. So yeah, I mean, it opens up with the Targaryen family and it's actually it's based 170 years before the events of Game of Thrones. So and I don't want to get into too much detail because I know the story, and I definitely don't want to spoil the entire story for everybody. But I mean, as far as knowing the entire, like looking at the entire picture of the show and comparing that to the first episode, I thought everything fit very perfectly. I mean, as far as the characters, character development, everybody seemed to be playing the roles right. And it was really sad to see the what was his? I can't remember her name, but it's the king's wife. It was really sad to see her die in childbirth. I hated that part, but other than that, it was really good.
So if someone hadn't watched Game of Thrones,
okay,
do you think that this would be a good starter for them?
Yes, 100%, 100%. Game of Thrones is still good though. Like, I mean, it's still good. It just has a really bad ending.
I will just tell you that
it's good up to season 6.
2 of the 4 people on the Fan Upstate, our brother station, really were angry when it ended.
I was angry too.
Yeah,
I was angry too.
Right,
yeah, I mean, it was just such a terrible ending. The ending was rushed, and so when you rush something like that, it's not going to have the same impact as it should. And they've been hyping it. They were hyping it for how many years? It was like, I don't know, like 10 years or something. And it was just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. We're just going to end it and stop.
So I still may give it a chance. I don't know.
House of the Dragon's good. I think you would like it. Again, the character that plays Daemon Targaryen, really great actor, really great.
Is that Matt Smith?
I believe so.
Is it the main guy?
Let me double
with
check
white hair
before I say yes or no.
I know all Targaryens have.
Yeah, they
hair.
all have white hair.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
That's why I said that.
Daemon.
Okay.
That's Daemon Targaryen. Matt Smith.
All right.
I enjoyed his character. So if anybody didn't, I'm sorry for you.
All right, we're going to get to She-Hulk after we take a break. But before we do, we were talking about short people and short clowns. And Zach says, there was a lady at my work who had a fear of little people. I told her to help her get over it. She should go to the saloon around town one night where they were advertising micro wrestling night. She went, and now she loves little people and isn't afraid of them anymore. Do you know what micro wrestling is?
No.
It's I'm going to say a word.
Bro.
It used to be midget wrestling, but we're not allowed to say midget anymore.
It's little people.
Yes, it's micro wrestling. You know what? Those guys probably called it that. There's an organization, and I forget the name of it. It might be micro wrestling, where they run everything,
right?
Including they name it, and they call it whatever they call it. All right, we're gonna take a break. We come back. We're talking She-Hulk, and I'm going to be a little more positive than some of the people on the stream. If you want to be a part of the show, text line 71307, or you can check us out on stream because we broadcast live every single week. First ones to do it in the building, still going strong on Facebook at 1063 WORD on the Upstate Pulse. Also on YouTube at the Upstate Pulse, and on Twitch at, guess what? The Upstate Pulse. Why are my comments sticking?
Well, Zach, there was really none of that in the first episode.
Ooh, Trey says they're going to be at. I heard there was though.
There's none.
Yeah. Rob told me there was.
No, there's not.
He said there was.
You mean it's not in House of Dragons?
Yeah. Now,
because it's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
it's really not that bad. Has anybody ever seen Spartacus? Now that's another one.
I was told that House of Dragons was like that.
That's way worse than.
So Trey says they're going to be at Wendell's Dipping Branch and in Anderson in March. That's like a year away. If it's probably going to be on a Saturday night, or we'd take a trip to go watch some micro wrestling. I know you guys not into wrestling, but it's micro wrestling. I mean, you've got to see the real, the big time wrestling. So you're saying you couldn't go and keep a straight face?
No.
They don't care. They just want your money, and they'll take your money. You know why you're going?
I don't think I could consciously do that.
Why?
Because.
Especially if they get if all the money goes to them, why not?
Because like I feel like they're I don't know. I don't want to answer this question.
Come on. See, that's the thing. So you feel like you will be offensive by going and helping someone out who wants you to come and watch them, who wants you to come and laugh, who wants you to come and be entertained. What do you think? There's like some 7 foot tall guy in the back who's making them do this?
I'll answer your question. I personally, for me myself, not for anybody else, would feel awkward laughing at somebody that I don't want to sound offensive by saying this, but like laugh at somebody with that situation.
Listen, Tim, short people are funny. They are.
Oh, of course they are.
You know, to me, almost everyone's short. So, I mean, you know.
Well, of course they are. I wouldn't feel comfortable for myself doing it. Now, if they want to do that, that's their business.
If I have the time and I got some people that are willing to go, I know one guy that will go with me for sure. I'll go. As long as it's not on Saturday night. Half the time, these things are on Saturday nights and kind of busy on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Not only will I go, I will go talk to them and try to get them on the show. And then I guess if they were on the show talking about how much fun it would be to come to watch them wrestle, you would not want to be on the show, on this show, if they were on the show. He did that thing again, Matthew.
Bro, he just goes quiet.
Yeah.
Because we're about to come back.
There's his excuse.
I think that was by the way, you should always tune in to the stream where we have the show continues. And sometimes it gets a little more philosophical than what we do on the air because we're trying to have fun on the air. We're still having fun, but sometimes things come up. I'm not going to talk about it on the air, so don't worry about it because I don't entirely understand it. Although we've got like a audience full of therapists that could help. They absolutely could, but I'm not going to do it. I said I'm not going to do it, so I'm not going to do it until the next break. So, you know, when we go to break, the discussion will probably continue. All the more reason for you to tune in during the breaks on 106.3 WORD or the Upstate Pulse on Facebook or on Twitch or on Twitter and have this discussion with us. All right. Speaking of anger for some people, awkwardness for some people, Matthew and I have seen this, so I know I can discuss this with Matthew, and I am very interested in his opinion on She-Hulk. We got to episode number 2, and I am going to spoil, so if you haven't seen it, it's been out since Thursday. Come on, it's a half hour. Why have you not watched it yet? I mean, take a lunch break and watch it. And also, make sure you stay to the end because it always has an extra credit scene. Did you stay till the end to watch the extra credit scene?
I forgot to watch the extra credit scene on episode 2.
This one is good. This one is really good. So episode 2, she has lost her job because she hulked out in the first one.
Yep.
And and she can't get a job because they don't want a freak working for them. So she's looking around. She's trying to find a job. Finally, she gets a job, and it's been in the teasers and the trailers. She's being hired to represent other superpowered people who are in trouble.
The comics thing that she does.
Yeah, exactly what she does. And the other thing is she loses her job. She goes to her family dinner. And who doesn't love those family dinners? I'm not talking about well, this wasn't an immediate family. It's kind of a bigger family. And, you know, there's something when someone loses a job or someone like gets dumped or something like that, and you go to a family dinner. I don't know if you guys have gone to those where there's if you have an extended family that's 6 to 10 people and they're all in the same room. So she's in there and they're all trying not to talk about it except for the cousin who just comes right out and says it because that guy is in every family.
There's always that guy.
You're not that guy, are you? Tim?
No,
Tim,
I'm not that guy.
I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
I refuse to be that guy.
I'm not that guy. I'm usually sitting next to that guy. But I'm not that guy. So if you're sitting next to that guy, they're looking at you too. And you're just like, what? Whoa, wait. That was him. Yeah. That was not me.
No,
that was
me.
not, especially at the end of the table and they're not sure because you're family and you sound a little bit alike. And someone at the end of the table thinks you said it, even though you didn't. So it wasn't me. Wasn't me. So they're trying to be nice about her and everything. trying to be nice and not being nice, just being offensive because that's what families do.
Right.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course.
And then she goes out in the garage with her dad. I like her dad. I do. I think her dad is going to be a decent character because, you know, you always have that one parent or that one family member that you just go and talk to that you can relate to. That seems to be her dad in this.
Yep.
And so then she gets hired to represent superheroes or supervillains. And she finds out the first one that she has to represent, and we've already seen this in the trailers, is Emil Blonsky, who is Abomination.
Yep.
And she's not sure she wants to do it, but she was allowed to bring along her own paralegal, which is her friend.
How is she an abomination? I don't understand that.
You don't remember Abomination? She's not an abomination.
Oh.
She's asked to represent Abomination.
Character named Abomination.
All right.
The Hulk villain, Abomination.
Emil Blonsky is Abomination. Did you see?
Oh, okay.
Did you see the Hulk with Abomination in it?
No.
I thought you're a Marvel fan. How could you not?
No.
It's okay.
Do I have to explain this again?
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
It's okay. A lot of people want to forget that movie.
Yeah, you can't watch every movie. So she's torn. Should she represent this guy or not? Because that guy tried to kill her cousin because he tried to kill the Hulk. So she goes to talk to him, and he's like a self-help guru kind of guy. He's no longer Abomination because he's found a way to be human or turn himself into a Hulk the same way that she does. I mean, because technically he's kind of a Hulk. And so then she's going to call Bruce, and Bruce calls her, if I recall, and says that he sent him a nicely worded letter, and he's forgiven him, and he's not even that person anymore, which was hilarious because it was a different actor who played the Hulk.
Yep.
So they're taking little jabs like that.
A little bit of a meta joke there. I appreciate that.
There's little things like that underneath the entire thing. And then you find out that Bruce is actually in the spaceship that wrecked them in the first place, heading to Sakaar, which means Warworld is coming.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a rumor that was going to happen anyway. And Hulk on Warworld is supposed to be pretty brutal. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see how that goes with the current Hulk as he is now.
But I think, and I don't want to speak for Zach and some other people who don't like it. Is it feminist? Is it, you know, politically a certain way? To a certain degree, it is.
Oh, yeah.
To a certain degree, it is.
More so episode 1.
But yeah, but it's not everything. And you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Most people and in most places work with people that they don't agree with on a lot of things, including religion, including politics, and, you know, just a lot of things. But you still can get along with the people you work with.
You got to learn how to get along with people you don't agree with. That's how life works.
And I think this show is very good. And it's exactly what it said it was going to be. It's a half-hour lawyer comedy.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think Tim would enjoy it if he would just take a half hour of time to watch it. But, you know, that's fine. Yeah,
I mean, I'm going to tell you honestly, I'm just kind of over the whole Marvel thing. But, I mean, I will. I'll take it.
It's kind of like an assignment for the show, you know?
Well,
I mean, you can come on, you can
just
completely
House of the Dragon came out. I really wanted to watch that. And, I just hadn't gotten around to watching it yet.
All right. Zach says it's not just that, though. Action, CGI, and editing are all rough.
And I agree. I'm a little more on the side of not a huge fan of the series. There is a bit of that Marvel burnout. I'm not a super big. I've seen everything with the Marvel stuff up until now. I'm at that burnout point where if it's not really good and it doesn't really grab my attention, I'm not going to stick with it as much. And that's kind of how I felt after episode 1. Episode 2's piqued my interest a bit more. It's back. It feels like it's getting back into what I like about the She-Hulk character from the comics a bit more. But we'll have to see how that goes and if they can pick it back up. Because I would say it's not like horrible or anything, but it is a bit middling at the moment.
All right. So, and they tied it into Shang-Chi. Did you see Shang-Chi, Tim?
Not yet. No.
Oh, I love Shang-Chi.
So at one point in Shang-Chi, Abomination is fighting Wong, and it's all set up. It's basically wrestling.
Yeah.
He's set the whole thing up to make the money. And then, so she decides she's going to represent him. And then the head of the company says, you need to turn the TV on. And there's footage of them actually fighting in Shang-Chi.
Yep.
So now they got to figure out how, so they're tying things together that way. Also, you didn't see the cutscene, but I'm going to spoil it anyway. The cutscene is just her going back to her family house and her dad having her carry everything that's heavy, including a bunch of bottled water, reaching things that can't be reached. Things that if you are a tall person, your parents ask you to do anyway if they're not tall.
Oh yeah.
Except in this case, she can do it all, and I thought that was hilarious.
That's awesome.
I really loved that. I thought that was great.
It's the easy joke, but I always appreciate it. It's always fun.
Zach says episode had an Easter egg that caught my eye though, and it was if I recall, a Wolverine Easter egg, and I've seen that it was there, and I didn't catch it.
I don't think I remember.
Yeah,
that
so I'm gonna have to research and find out exactly what it was. All right, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we are gonna do a little taste test. We haven't done one in a while, and yes, it's going to be tame compared to some of the things we've done in the past. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD, continuing live on a 106.3 and Upstate Pulse Facebook pages, as well as the YouTube and Twitch page. All right, Zach, what was it exactly? Because I can't remember. I mean, it probably just went right past me, and I knew it was supposed to have one.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I saw it, and I just completely blanked on the fact that it was an Easter egg.
Chris wants more DC and less Marvel. I would do that, but Tim's running the show, and we know he hates DC. So
I would love to see more good DC content if they would put it out.
There's nothing DC coming out until October.
Speaking of which, I'm going to watch
when Black Adam
Batman
comes
movie.
up.
I haven't watched it yet, and it's on
the
HBO.
Batman was really good.
It's on HBO Max. Been on there for a while. Yeah,
I just realized it the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I should watch that."
There's a lot of people who didn't like part of it.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I stick with anime, man. You don't got to worry about any of that.
There's no way to satisfy everybody. Okay. Zach says there's a headline that mentions a man with claws fighting in a bar.
Oh.
See, they've been doing this a lot on a lot of these, putting codes in there where you can get free comics and things like that, because they want people to go back in and kind of slow things down and stuff.
Wasn't Wolverine an Avenger at one point?
No. No.
I don't know. So one way to, I mean, you can look it up. You know who would know? That would be Rob Young if we ever get him back on again.
He has not been in the Avengers. I mean, we've had some.
No, not the Avengers. I'm talking about the comic book universe.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Wolverine has been in, on the Avengers in the comics on multiple occasions.
All right, we are about to try this. Supposedly, it tastes like a dream.
Dude, have y'all tried the spicy Mountain Dew?
I don't drink soda, so no.
Oh my God!
The true person in the room that can tell us
if it's good or not
is going to be Matthew.
No,
it's a dream. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in roundtable, Zach. All right, I'm going to do that weird thing where you smell something, because I never do that, but I'm doing this. Interesting.
Oh, boy.
I'm not going to tell you what I think it smells like. It's not like I'm going, oh, my God, that smells like. Here, I will let you pour your own, so you can decide how much you want to pour yourself.
Have y'all seen the Sprite challenges?
Here, let me put the lid on it first before you reach it across the board. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
I'm going to pull that back. I'm not gonna
don't do that.
Yeah.
You'll get Tim in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's an aged oaky smell.
Got a sweet smell to it.
It does. It does.
Smells like flowers.
Does it smell like a dream, though?
What does a dream smell like?
Smells like Febreze.
That's going to be the question. I hope it doesn't taste like Febreze.
It smells like Febreze, like straight up. All right.
Trey wants to know, I really don't like this year's Mountain Dew Halloween mystery flavor. Didn't know there was one. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo, T2, and Matthew here. Having a blast on Saturday night. If you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307. Also, you can send us a message on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch at the Upstate Pulse or at 106.3 WORD. All right, one of the things we've done here on the Upstate Pulse, it's tradition for nearly 8 years that this program's been on. Yeah, we've been on that long. DX comes to mind to some people who don't think we should be. And if you get it, then you should like this show. So we've done taste tests, and I don't care if it's proper English because Chris isn't here to correct me. We've had taste tests here for since the beginning of the show. It kind of started with, I think, more when the Flaccid one, Patrick, was here, because I was trying to find things that would make him throw up. And so in trying to find things that would make him throw up, we would, have conversations with him to find things he didn't like. So then we could bring them in so we could try them, including one of the first things was pork rinds. He didn't like pork rinds.
Oh, I love pork rinds, man.
So I had seen this a lot. I saw it's like microwave popcorn, but it's pork rinds. Have you guys tried that? So you make it like microwave popcorn, and man, did it smell up the building. I mean, just the smell of the pork rinds.
Oh, I bet.
And he was getting ill. And this was during the time when our third hour was taken away from us. And in protest, we tried to do things that would also get us noticed. And we did a pre-show, and usually we would do this on the pre-show. Then later on, we started doing it on the real show. So there's video out there of us trying the pork rinds. Chris Evans, Zach Adams, myself, and Patrick Brown, who had to leave the room after he ate one, which was great. So we've tried a bunch of things, including when the Cheetos chicken came out at KFC. I've told the story before, but I'll say it again. Went over there to try it, and there was an orderly standing there, or he could have been a doctor. It was a black dude, probably like in his 30s. And he looked at me, we made eye contact, and he just shook his head like you're making a mistake. And there's nothing like that when you're getting ready to try eating something, when you got someone in that line of work going, don't do it. And so we did it. And we usually would do those live. You can find them on our Facebook page. We also tried the Impossible Whopper, which we were good with it until later. And then
the Impossible Whopper, what was on that?
It's not meat.
It's the grass one, right?
Yeah. It's not meat.
It's a vegetarian.
So only one of us made it through without stomach problems after it.
You remember we tried the nuggets?
What kind of nuggets were they?
They were the jalapeno ones or something.
Oh yeah. Which were not bad.
That made me sick.
But we've also had some good stuff like pizza sliders from Arby's. And then Zach brings up Soggy Fruity Pebbles milkshake from Burger King was the worst one when he was here. And it was.
Oh, gosh. I was at the mall like a week or two ago, and they had Great American Cookies. They had a little Fruit Loops cookie. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen.
See, I don't think that would be so bad because it's not like the leftover milk turned into a milkshake. It was. Yeah. It was bad. It really was bad. It was one of the worst ones.
The best thing I've ever eaten in this room was when Rob Young brought the Japanese Twix in here.
Yeah, those were good. Those were good.
These were awesome.
So we also, and this is coming up, and I hope they have these again. We did Skittles, zombie Skittles, and the zombie Skittles thing is little packets of Skittles that you can give out for Halloween. One of them tastes like zombies.
How do you know what zombies taste like?
All I know is not good. I will say that. So
it's not good.
So probably not.
Patrick and Chris got them pretty much right away.
Ooh.
And so I made it through the whole pack. The last one got me, and it was not good. So we've tried a ton of things like that, and some good, some bad. We tried one time, we saw cheese on Pop-Tarts. So we were going to try that. The problem is, we couldn't find it. It was like strawberry Pop-Tarts with cheese. So we went to CVS because we were pressed for time. They don't have sliced cheese. So we got like the jar of cheese. And then all they had was cinnamon, brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. So we tried. It's okay, Matthew.
Oh,
it's all right. Matthew's getting queasy. By the way, it was not bad. It was not bad. I mean,
really?
Yeah,
I mean, I can
bad.
understand that not being as bad as some of the other things you've tried, but that still sounds gross.
But aside from the milkshake that Zach's talking about, the worst thing that we ever tried was Chris brought in a cheese sampler. And it was either sheep cheese or goat cheese. It got me so bad that, my wife brings up, we tried frozen Twinkies. Those were good. Did you make it in the oven? There's an oven downstairs, so we made it in the oven. But the sheep or goat's cheese, I don't remember which one it was. I barely made it to the trash can, and some of it made it on Chris.
Oh, man, I wish I would have been a fly on the wall for that.
And Chris was sitting where Matthew's sitting right now. That's how far it went, and it was pretty bad. So we tried a ton of things, and whenever we see something come out, I try to find a way for us to taste it. We missed the entire year with the COVID year because people weren't here, so my daughter pointed out that Coke has, and got 5 minutes to do this. Coke has a new, what you guys call soda, but really is pop. Because if you call it soda, you're weird.
Yeah, no, I call it soda.
Yeah,
it's soda.
And Tim has the bottle.
Or I'll just call it what it is. Like Mountain Dew, Coke.
Well,
I'll call it what it is.
It's
soda.
It's soda pop.
Oh Lord,
it's soda pop. It's soda pop.
I could have gone the rest of my life with that.
It's just soda.
No, it's soda pop.
We're in South Carolina here in the South. We call it soda.
Dude,
it's pop. So anyway, I've had to have this argument with anyone who's ever been on the show, except for
I argued with everybody in Cleveland when I lived there.
Genetic code, and he would agree also that it's pop. Although I think when he's out with his friends, so he can fit in, he calls it soda. My daughter calls it soda just to defy me.
Well, I just don't understand. Like,
it's soda pop, so you pick which one you want to say. In Ohio, it's pop.
Okay, when you order a drink
in Kentucky,
when you order a drink from a server in the north, I'm not. I want to ask you a question. When you order a drink from a server, do you have to call it? Do you have to call it pop before you call it what it is? Why wouldn't you just say, "I want
most
a
people
Coke
know
or a Sprite"?
No, here's what you do when you go to a restaurant and you're not sure. You say, "What kind of pop do you have?" And then they'll tell you, "Do you have Pepsi products or do you have Coke products?"
Okay, but that's what I say.
Right here, you have
Coke or Pepsi.
You say, "What kind of soda products do you have?"
I hardly ever say soda. Like, do you have Coke products or Mountain or Pepsi products?
Well, you guys all sound like you're from Michigan.
I never have to ask what soda products somebody has because I just drink water.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, so we're going to try this. Matthew is going to go first because he doesn't drink what he calls soda.
No, I don't drink soda. I'm a water guy.
All right.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's one of the most watered down things I've ever drank.
All right. Does it have any flavor to it that you can ascertain?
No, I mean, I guess you can feel a little bit of sweetness, but not much. It's kind of bland.
All right. Does it taste like a dream?
No.
Okay. All right.
Unless you have bland dreams.
All right. Tim, go ahead. By the way, text line. What does a dream taste like?
Febreze.
71307. He says it smells like Febreze.
It smells like Febreze, dude.
I don't know how. Did you ever spray Febreze in your mouth? So do you know what Febreze
tastes?
I know
it tasted like
Febreze.
Right. I said it smells like Febreze.
All right. Give it a taste.
Right,
Let's see.
Here we go. I mean, it's...
Look at the face. Look at the face. I don't think he likes it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like Smarties met...
I like Febreze.
It's like bland, but a bit sweet in there. Maybe I had too small of a sip to get much taste.
All right.
I don't know.
All right. So it's my turn now. So I'm trying the Coke Dream.
I know what you're talking about. It does have like a little bland thing to it.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think?
Wow, that's not good.
It's not.
It's not. It's not.
Nothing.
It's not. It's not. No, it's. Yeah, it's like you melted candy.
It's like Smarties met like a house cleaner.
It's exactly like what you're describing. It's like candy was like when you're a kid and you put candy in something in a liquid and it dissolves in it.
Yeah,
that's what it's like. But it's like too much water. Exactly how Matthew explained it. It's like not enough candy and too much water. All right, so I just want to say I will be pouring this out, and it's not good. I mean, it's really not good. I'm not acting. I don't like it.
I wouldn't get
It's
sick
really
from it,
not
but like
good.
I wouldn't want to drink it.
I might get sick.
I
from
might
it.
get sick from that.
it's,
Yeah.
it's fun. All right, you listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
Oh, it's still in my mouth.
Would you like a couple Doritos? I left some. We'll take them all, but this might be enough to kill it. Yeah, because
that was not good.
It was not. It really was not good. It was not.
Look, Matt.
Poor Matt. Like it wasn't the worst thing I've ever drank. Like it wasn't good.
Apologize for the crunching, but we gotta do something about that taste.
Yeah, dude, it was pretty bad.
Because the drink was so bad, I'm gonna let that one go.
All right. Come over here and stop this.
Oh man. Look, it's like blinking in the newsroom, like Matt's in there doing magic or something. It's weird. No, Advil tastes better. Medicine tastes better.
Yeah. It didn't have like a Dimetapp taste or anything to it. It just
No, I mean the medicine at least is strong. This is like it's
Medicine. Yes, it tastes like medicine.
No, medicine tastes better.
Yeah, I would say medicine actually tastes better.
I think medicine tastes better.
I would say that
It literally tastes like
medicine has a stronger taste than that.
It tastes like cleaner. Like the smell of like cleaner.
I was gonna say everything you say it tastes like has me concerned that you've actually ingested some of that
Like,
stuff. And
like,
I'm worried.
I feel like I just drank Pine Sol.
I know what you mean by that though. Yeah.
Or I ate out of you remember like your grandma's like bowl of like dried leaves that smelled funny? That's what I feel like I just drank.
What?
Like what?
Your
Yeah.
grandma had dried
What is
leaves?
it? Paprika or whatever it is?
You talking about
Potpourri?
paprika?
Yeah, potpourri.
Potpourri. Okay. You ate potpourri?
When I was a kid one time.
Dude, what's wrong with you? Didn't eat paste too, did you?
No.
Because that would explain a whole lot. I don't know. Has anyone ever ate the potpourri before? I get when you're a kid, you do weird stuff, but I've never heard that before.
I don't know. I was like, I don't know.
The fact that he not only remembered it, but he said it in front of everybody.
Yep.
I don't care. So what? Everybody makes mistakes, right? Like drinking that nasty Coke.
That was bad, man.
That's pretty nasty.
I am usually I don't care that I've subjected other people to something. I feel genuinely bad that I got you guys to try that. I feel bad about that.
You heard it here first, folks. He actually feels bad about giving us that nasty Coke.
Question is, am I making myself sick or did that stuff really make me sick? I don't know.
I know that it was gross, though.
No.
Right there.
If you make a mess, make sure you clean it up. So that's the way this goes. It's hit or miss with these taste tests.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes good. Sometimes they're like tonight.
Yep.
You know, I would have rather that taste been extremely strong.
Yeah, because there wasn't much to it. So it's like it's bad, but it's like it's this light taste that just lingers.
Right. Yeah. Maybe I should have did what I normally do and save that till like near the end of the show. I don't know why I did it in the first hour. I think because I didn't expect it to be bad.
Yeah.
Don't say that coming in because it makes it sound like you went and threw up.
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right.
There's only one thing that I ever.
When you come in and say it takes a lot to make me
initially.
throw up, that means you probably threw up.
No, there's only one thing I ever ingested that
That's a
I
good point, Zach.
initially threw it up after, and that would be a shot of Everclear.
Understandable.
Okay, you guys are speaking a foreign language to me, but that's fine.
Everclear is just, it's rubbing alcohol, basically.
Pretty much.
Why would you drink rubbing alcohol?
Because
it's branded as drinking
drinkable.
alcohol.
Okay, all right.
I lost a bet when I had to do it. Peer pressure, kids. Don't listen to other people. Do what you want to do.
The worst part is when you come to radio and then there are radio bets.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Which I'm about to partake in again. Punishment bets. Those are the worst. You lose a bet and you have no idea what you might be wearing. It's not good. And social media is forever, even if you try to scrub it.
Yep.
So something still isn't on yet, right? Spots are still missing.
No.
It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the thing that was missing for a couple weeks now. We're on stream. I can't say what I'm. Never mind. I'll ask you. I'll just come and look myself later. Never mind.
Okay.
Haven't tried Starlight Coke, Trey, and I gotta say, probably won't after tonight. I might be done with some Coke type products.
Yep. I'm just gonna go back to my good old classic and drink some more water.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, yeah, it's
Unless
a,
it's
it's
dirty
a good,
water
healthy option.
I like the mango Jim Mountain Dew that I have back there. It's pretty good.
Mm.
So wait, can you actually binge play video games and not drink some sort of, Monster or something like that?
Time to get your nerd on. It's the Nerd Hour.
Get those nerds!
That's what you have.
Of the Upstate Pulse. On 106.3 WORD.
Brought to you by Borderlands Comics and Games.
Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Having a blast on Saturday night. I'm Lonzo. He's T2. He's Matthew. Once again, Cameron's not here because he is on a raid with Destiny 2. Hopefully he's being successful. He got on with, I forget, what do they call them?
Squads?
It might be a clan. I don't know.
Clan?
It's a clan or a squad or something. I think it depends on the game.
Oh, yeah.
I
So
don't know what
Call of Duty
Destiny
is
2
squads.
I think it's a guild.
Okay, it might be a
I
guild.
think it's guilds in Destiny
Okay,
2.
yeah, you're probably right. He's probably in a guild. But he's in with some guys, and they always get together. And it's one of those things where you have to be on a list, and it could take you all day before you find out if you actually get to do the raid. So until 4 o'clock, he was going to be here, but then he got in on the raid. So I am not going to be angry with Cameron for staying home and playing a video game because let's see Upstate Pulse. That's what we do. All right.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't get to in the first, and by the way, we are all suffering from the effects of the dream, the Coke dream. I would suggest that you don't do that to yourself. I'm believing that the other two guys in the room would also suggest that you don't do that to yourself. Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Do not do it. Yeah, don't. And you know what? If you want to tell someone else it's good, go ahead. I mean, just to watch them suffer. If you're that kind of friend,
don't sully yourself
that kind
with
of
Coke
horrible
Dream.
person.
Yeah, it's I remember doing that in college. One of my buddies was from Japan, and he got a care package from Japan. And in that care package, he got packets of seaweed. He said they eat them like potato chips. And I tried it and spit it out in the water fountain.
Packets of seaweed?
Yeah.
You can get those at like the store.
Well, thank you, Tim. But back in 1986,
oh, I guess you couldn't
not,
back then.
You could not. But
dude, I eat those all the time.
I personally thought it was extremely nasty, and
it's actually very healthy for you.
So that's awesome. So I have 3 roommates at the time. I went and got each one of them individually and told them, man, this stuff's really good. You got to try this. You cannot believe how good it is. 2 of them spit it out. One of them threw up.
I see that you're that kind of friend.
Well, they tortured me a little bit. So, you get,
it's just a cycle of revenge.
I'm very patient. I am very patient. So, I mean, here's how they tortured me. After midnight, they would go on a donut run because the old donuts, they would price them down as they're putting out the new donuts. So they'd go on a donut run and they would wake me up at midnight every night. And yes, I actually tried to sleep at college so I could go to class. Never quite made it there, but I tried. And so they would wake me up every night, and then I'd fall back asleep, and then they'd get back like at 1:30 with the donuts, and then wake me up to eat the donuts. And since they bought the donuts, I'd have to eat the donuts. And then they'd also bring me chocolate milk, which I didn't realize that I'm slightly lactose intolerant till like 5 years ago. I found out. I didn't know when I was in college, but still. So then I have a stomachache the rest of the night. So I needed to get them back for that. So I did. So you actually eat seaweed?
Yeah.
In packets. What's it taste like?
Tastes like seaweed.
Okay.
I don't know what else. It doesn't really taste.
What insight you can offer?
Yeah, I mean, if you like sushi, then you'll like it.
Well, I don't, because I don't eat raw fish.
I don't like raw fish either.
If that helps anybody understand.
All right. So we were talking entertainment last hour. We're actually talking about things that you can watch on streaming. NBC is about to cut an hour of prime time. So they're going to give an hour of prime time back to local stations. So the question I have for you guys, the question for everyone at home, are we about to see the demise of what used to be all there was? Your NBCs, your CBS, your ABC TV stations. Back in my day, we had to turn the channel ourselves. Sometimes reply us. Back in my day, I was the only one who could adjust the antenna right. So my mom would make me stand there and just move it around until we got the picture right. That really did happen, by the way. It absolutely did.
Oh, wow.
I was really good at it because attention to detail. It's what I do here too. So, I mean, maybe because of that, I got into radio. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Do you think, and I'm curious, how much regular TV do you watch, Tim?
Regular TV? I don't watch regular TV. No.
Okay, none at all. Have you cut the cord? I mean, do you have cable? Or do you have anything like that?
Nope, I have all streaming services.
Okay. Matthew?
I haven't watched anything live on television in years.
Okay, so you guys are millennials, but you're older than what some people would think a millennial would be. I'm not saying
I
old.
used to watch television all the time growing up. It's just not something I do as much anymore.
All right, I have to admit that I don't watch a lot of TV, and when I do, it's usually not live. I do watch wrestling, obviously, but I usually DVR it, and I do watch live sporting events because it's also my job. So even if it wasn't, I'd be watching it. But as far as regular TV goes, that's not sports related or sports entertainment or something like that, the only thing I will watch or was watching was I watched Supernatural, and I watched all the CW superhero shows, and they're all already almost gone. There are a couple of them that are still around. Flash has one more season. It's more of a half season coming up. Stargirl comes back next week, though, and I really like Stargirl. I've been waiting for them to ruin it. They haven't yet. Maybe season 3 they'll get around to ruining it. But
I really want to watch that. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, Stargirl's really good. It's simple. It's a small town kind of thing. The villains are a little corny, but at the same time, they're also extremely wicked. And then there's Lois and Superman, which is really, really good.
Yeah, I need to catch up on that one.
Well, you should catch up.
It was really good.
You should catch up now because the actor playing Jonathan is no longer going to be there anymore. So they're going to recast it, which is going to be weird.
That doesn't bother me anymore because, like I said, I watched Spartacus, and the guy that originally played Spartacus, he ended up dying. It was Andy Whitmore. And he died of some kind of sickness, but when they recasted him, at first I hated it, but I got used to it. So if you hate that, just give it a shot and see if you can muscle through it.
Well, going as far back as Bewitched, which you guys probably don't know about that, what Bewitched is, but the original Darren was recast. So it's been done before, sometimes because the actor just decides, hey, I'm done, or they want more money, and they just say, okay, we'll just put somebody else in there.
Aunt Viv from the Fresh Prince was recast.
Absolutely. Yep. That's another one. So do you watch network TV at all, aside from sports or wrestling? Text line 71307. On the stream, Chris says YouTube TV is the way to go. Zach asks, is the Superman show still good? Remember when it started, people said it was good. Yes, it is really good.
Chris says, I am Spartacus. Yeah, that's awesome.
Then he says Tim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I lifted Tim out because Tim's not in Spartacus.
Well, sometimes we leave Tim out because he's not paying attention.
That is true.
So, do we have any texts?
Always true.
Not about what we're talking about right now, but we have had a couple people commenting about D&D.
Okay. All right. Yes. All right. Steven says Hulu Live TV for him. So most people have cut the cord, and even when you do watch it, you watch it delayed. You don't watch it live. All right. So we were supposed to play D&D tonight. It should be a full room. We should actually have like 6 people here right now.
Yep.
But the guy DMing, Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show,
the most creatively named show in the station.
Yeah, it is.
And what is it? The Rob Brown Show?
Yeah, it's very creative. From what I understand, they had to bring in a panel of experts to figure out exactly what to name it, and that's what they came up with. I wish we would have had that for this show. So Rob found he was asked by his significant other to do something. And so he said yes to her. So instead of hanging out with us, he went with her, and he sent us all a wonderful email.
He did.
It was beautiful.
I had to let Tim know about that email. He missed it.
Of course he did.
Yeah, you keep laughing. Keep laughing.
Oh, we will.
We will.
Yeah. I mean, don't quit or anything, but still,
of course.
No, we love you.
Read your emails. That's all.
Oh, you love me, Matt. Thank you. Sir.
Yeah, he should have put it on our whatever that Google chat. Maybe you would have saw it there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably. Well, it might have popped up because it pops up on the thing. Yeah.
On there, so
maybe it would have got a. Yeah. Chris says Rob Brown bros first. Hey, I get it. I absolutely get it. If I had something planned and my wife said, "Hey, I really want to do this," I would find a way to do both because that's just how I am.
Oh no, I feel that. I would if I had a wife, I would probably be in that similar kind of boat. I'd try to make it work, but at the end of the day, unless it was something like super important, if I had one commitment first, I would go for that first commitment. But like if it's really important, then yeah, obviously.
So if you have a friend who commits to something and they have to get out of it for whatever reason, how many times do you let that go before they're chastised and degraded and things like that?
Oh, speaking from experience, like the third time.
Okay. All right. So that's
why the third time?
That's what Matthew says. What do you say?
That's when it becomes a pattern.
Yeah, it becomes a pattern. It has to be at least 3 times.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess I'll go with the same then. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, there's nothing like specific
there.
about
I don't know.
It's just by that point you start seeing a pattern.
Speaking of patterns, so we're not playing tonight, but we will play. And if something happens and Rob can't do it in the future, we will do it because we want to do that, and we want to do it so you guys can see us playing D&D. We will make it happen. Just not this week.
Yeah.
And I apologize. It was none of our faults. So people want Rob to be punished in some way. We can make that happen.
Yeah.
Rob should have to receive a punishment for not being here, says Steven. He had this plan for over a month. It was actually more than that. Vegemite shake drink through a hot dog straw. That could happen eventually, but not for this. Not for this. Okay, so
what? That could happen.
We will. No, we're getting ready to do some really bad punishments on the Rob Brown Show, just because he could face the wall for that. That you're right, Chris.
Yeah.
You know what?
I said the Nerf wall.
Did you? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
The Nerf wall, bro.
Yeah. So I think we may have to make that happen.
We might just have
but we have to make sure that Rob Young is here for that to happen.
And we have to make sure that
Rob
Brown doesn't know.
That rotary. Oh, no. Rob needs to know.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs to know.
So you guys make sure you remind him Monday for those of you who also listen to that show. But speaking of patterns, researchers say you might have a double who shares your DNA. Unrelated people who resemble each other have genetic similarities and share DNA, a new study reveals. Or they're robots. The study conducted by the Josep Carreras Leukemia Research Institute in Barcelona examined 100 sets of unrelated people who look like each other, according to research published in the journal Cell Reports. In addition to having similar habits and tastes, the pseudo twins had more genes in common than did sets of non-lookalikes. Doppelgangers, but it was close. Says lead author Dr. Manuel Esteller, we were able to see that these lookalike humans, in fact, I'm glad he said humans. I don't know why he was specific about lookalike humans, but he said humans, in fact, are sharing several genetic variants, Esteller said.
Because lizard people are taking over the world.
They already took over the world. They're in charge. They share these genetic variants that are related in a way that they have the shape of the nose, the eye, the mouth, the lips, and even the bone structure. And this was the main conclusion that genetics put them together. So they say everyone has a twin. That's what they say. I don't know who they are, but they say a lot.
The ominous they.
Yes, those guys or girls. I don't know.
The ominous they.
We all know they.
Yeah,
we all live down the street.
We all know they. They might even be down the hall.
They, them.
Yes.
They're everywhere, dude.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
All right, so I want to ask you guys, have you ever met anybody who said that they were your lookalike and you looked at them and went, okay, I can see that?
No.
Because I have.
I have not actually, no. I'm sure that there's somebody out there that does look a lot like me, but I've never run into them before.
I'm sure that there is, and I would just never admit it. I think I would never admit it.
No, you guys will walk.
I'll be like, no, you don't.
You guys will walk by each other and not notice. That's exactly what happened. Just walk right by.
More than likely.
Everybody else would be like, you just be like, what?
Or we would actually talk to each other. They're like, what's up, bro?
All right. So a year ago, I was at the Spartan Burgers game doing a thing for the fan. And this guy walked up and said he'd always wanted to meet me and said that a lot of people say he looked like me. And he looked like a shorter version of me. He absolutely did.
Oh, wow.
He'd been mistaken for me several times, including while he was axe throwing. And my first thought is, man, I hope he didn't do anything that makes people think that was me. I mean, you could see it. You could see it from a distance. If you got really close, you'd be like, no. But if you had just glanced me on Facebook or on a picture or something and saw this guy, you would think it was me.
I think that happens to a lot of people. There's a difference between like doppelganger?
Doppelganger.
That's what I said. I said that earlier. You said I said it wrong.
Well, you would just.
You said Doppler.
Yeah,
you did.
You're also kind of
Doppelganger.
No,
No.
Doppelganger.
All I'm saying is
Doppelganger is a group of guys who are into weather and they beat people
all
up.
I'm saying is that there's a difference between that and somebody that just kind of resembles, who you are.
All right. Trey says they're all scrolls. They could be.
Yeah, it's true.
It could be. They absolutely could be scrolls.
Secret Wars is coming.
It is. And Zach wants to know, why is a leukemia place studying that? Does that tie into treatments and cures, or they just have employees doing their own thing over there? Yeah, probably.
Maybe a little bit of all of that. All of the above.
I'm sure there's some correlation, medically speaking, that I'm not aware of.
It might be Fosse funded. I don't know. We don't know. I do know that we need to take a break. When we come back, we're talking video games. And we're going to find out what everyone's playing. We're also going to talk about paying for in-game things. Do you pay extra for power? Do you pay extra for cosmetics? You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WRD, continuing live on the 106.3 and Upstate Pulse Facebook pages, as well as the Upstate Pulse YouTube and Twitch page.
Doppelgangers, they're all just scrolls. It's a big marketing thing from Disney.
It is, yeah. Just like the clown things
Wars,
like the clown things we talked about earlier. They just go through and they find people's pictures and go, okay, we can make someone look like that guy, and they just send them out, somewhere around you. Yeah, that was a good day when those things happened. Zach says, I miss the days when games were a finished product when they were released.
I miss those days too.
I don't mind a DLC that comes out
I love
a year after the game's
DLC.
over.
Like FromSoft games do it fantastically, but like there's plenty of games that just come out literally just unfinished, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, I hate that.
And see, I liked when
I want to pay one time for a video game.
So you don't buy season pass?
Not unless it's necessary.
Well, it's necessary to get all the stuff that's coming out, so you have to pay
It
for it
depends on
individually.
how much I like the game and the initial playthrough of the game.
Oh no, yeah, of course.
If I don't like the initial playthrough,
So you
of the
won't
game,
buy
then
a season pass from the beginning.
No, like Assassin's
Even if
Creed,
it's from I was going to say, even if it's from a trusted
if it's
company.
from a trusted company, I will, because like
Yeah.
I love Assassin's Creed. I haven't even finished Valhalla, and I still bought the season pass for it.
Well, Valhalla is really good. I really
There's
like
very
Valhalla.
few things that I'll
I
buy
like,
season pass
Odyssey
for
better.
outright.
I thought Odyssey was way better.
I've been trying to play Odyssey, and after playing Valhalla, I
think people
can't.
that like Odyssey,
Yeah.
like Valhalla, and people like Valhalla didn't like.
Well,
like people that 7 and 8.
I'm trying. I started playing Far Cry 6 again, and I'm trying to get through it. And I've reached that point where I don't want to do all the extra stuff. I just want to beat the game. And I hate when I get that part of. But I put in a ton of hours, and it's like, you know what? I can kill just about anything in here. Should I just go over and take care of Moff Gideon? Forget his name, the actor's name.
Oh my gosh. Spider-Man Miles Morales came out almost 2 years ago. I was about to say, didn't it just come out? Of course there's no DLC yet, but no, it's been out for 2 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I played the first one. I loved the first one. The Miles thing was like,
There's been, speaking of DLC, there's been rumors that Elden Ring DLC is going to be announced sometime soon, and I'm really looking forward to hearing about
I keep
that.
seeing that, and I haven't. And that's the other thing. I really kind of want to finish Far Cry 6 so I can go back to Elden Ring.
Oh yeah,
and beat it again. And the next game that I want, we're going to be talking about here in a second. By the way, come back with the video game intro. Golly. All right, so we're going to be talking about, I'm going to make sure I have time to talk about my new national podcast and the fact that I hope that if we do good enough at it, that maybe I can turn it into doing this kind of thing for a podcast.
That'd be
national
awesome.
podcast.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be awesome.
Or if we can make this thing be noticed more.
In general, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on.
I know. That's why I said that.
Oh, I'm working on a new thing for us too.
Cool.
Well, like what we talked about.
Ominous. I want to hear about this after the show. Oh, I saw you put your headphones on. I thought we were about to come back
20
in.
seconds.
Oh, okay.
We also have an intro, which is, so.
This is how I keep from noobing myself. Serious.
You know, you just jinxed yourself, right? I think when he says he can't hear me, that he actually can. That's what I think. I'm just talking to the people.
Oh, okay. The people.
All right, there's the video game intro where we're going to talk some video games, including what we're playing right now. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I am playing Far Cry 6. As I talked about last week, I hadn't finished it, so I put in a ton more hours on the thing. There are like 3 territories there's 4. 3 territories that you need to get through, or you can get through before you take out the final guy. And I think I'm good enough to where I could go ahead and take out the final guy. But Far Cry will do some weird stuff to you. You think, hey, I beat the game. It never ends well. It's not as bad as a Square Enix game where usually, a lot of people die or there's sadness. Far Cry has these weird endings where you're like, oh man, that's messed up. Why would they do that? That kind of thing. So, but I don't believe there's a Far Cry ending so far out of all of them that I played, which has been all of them, where I went, yeah, I'm good with that. It's usually like, why? They all think they build you up to a certain point and you're like, okay, yeah, they're not going to do it this time. They're not going to do it. And then they do.
Yeah. Last of Us reminds me of that kind of ending.
That's why
the second one.
If you have Game Pass right now and you've never played Far Cry 5, you should play it just so you can have that kind of ending. And all Far Cry games have a way, apparently, like right at the beginning of the game, that you can do something to immediately end the game.
Yep.
like a choice or something?
Yeah,
or?
yeah. And I've read about it later. Like in 5, your helicopter crashes. Apparently, if I remember, it's 5. You can just drive away, and then the game's over.
Well, that's a big letdown.
Well, if you're into achievements, I mean, I guess
yeah.
I mean, then you can just start over again, and you haven't really put that much into the game yet.
No, I still like games with good stories.
So I'm playing that. Also, Dragon Ball Dokkan is got another one of those anniversaries. When they get anniversaries, they send you a bunch of stones, dragon stones that you can use to get new characters and stuff. And I'm still playing that. Tim, what are you playing and what's going on New Wave?
Okay, well, I just got my schedule set up. So if you would like to see that, you can head over to my Twitch page, which is twitch.tv/headshottim. And just look at the schedule. Right now, I am playing Kingdom Hearts, Call of Duty, and I'm going to start streaming Visage tonight. So that's going to happen actually at 10 o'clock. So anybody who wants to see that, you can join me on my New Wave Facebook page or my New Wave YouTube channel, or you can watch me right there on Twitch.
All right, Matthew, what you doing?
Well, I have, as we mentioned last week, I've been playing some modded Skyrim, but now, officially, as of I think it was yesterday, the Dark Souls 3 PC servers are finally online again after several months. They went down back in like April, I believe it was, and they're finally up again. So I think I'm going to have to hop into some Dark Souls 3 PvP again.
I get my butt handed at stuff like that. And so I'd rather just beat the AI, because obviously I have something against AI. And when I can defeat AI,
I love to
me
just
feel better.
Go through. I will set up an area where I can just have people invade me constantly. And my record from, I think it was 3 years ago, my record was killing 74 people before I finally died.
That's what I like about Call of Duty, though. Like, you know, especially when you're like everybody's pitted against you.
Oh yeah,
because you're just, you know, dominating them.
All right, Chris on the stream says I miss Skyrim. Well, you don't have to.
No, you can always go back to Skyrim.
Go back and play. And one thing about Skyrim, whether it's on console or on computers, and a lot of Bethesda games are this way. There are a ton of mods. There are people that are the modding community rather is still really strong with Skyrim. They're constantly adding not just weapons and ways to do things, but also they put a lot into making a whole new it's like playing a new game.
Yeah, okay. Explain modding to me. Is that because I'm not a PC gamer?
Ask him. He can explain.
Is that the same thing as like
modifications, which is basically additional content or alterations to the game that you can put in. So like some of the earliest stuff was things like replacing the texture of a dragon to be Macho Man Randy Savage or Thomas the Tank Engine or something like that.
Oh, okay. So it's basically like hacking the game.
No,
not at all.
We're changing the coding.
There can be some of that, but it can be modifying game files, yes, and things like that. It can be adding additional content. Like some of the biggest stuff that's come out recently for Skyrim specifically is just straight up additional regions and huge quest lines. There's a big project going on called Beyond Skyrim right now that currently added Bruma, which is the border area in Cyrodiil to Skyrim, and they have plans to add in Hammerfell and High Rock and all sorts of other stuff.
All right, I think I understand.
Yeah, so if you played the game and they give you a certain, on console at least, they give you a certain amount of space of downloads and mods that you can do, and so you can download these entire scenarios, and it's like getting DLC. And the cool part about it, some of them aren't as good as others, but some of them are really good, to the point where some of these modders are so good they actually get hired by the video game companies.
There's been several instances of that, and it's really cool every time.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just wondering.
Yeah, so you actually have access to do that with Game Pass. So there's 2 games in particular that you can do that with mods, and that's Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Both of those you can do, and it's not just that, but there are, you can mess with the perk system to be better, to get better perks. There's just outfits and if you just want your guy to look like something, chances are there's a mod where someone
there's mods for practically everything. You can customize your game to be whatever you want. I've customized my game to basically be Dark Souls. right now, my current playthrough.
Okay, all right.
Because I did a bunch of combat modifications.
Someone just modded Elden Ring to look like One Piece.
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
That sounds awesome.
No, it's scary. I mean, because they replaced they replaced all the bosses with major bosses from One Piece, and I'm just like watching it is like,
so Radahn is definitely Kaido.
I forget who Radahn was. It was someone big, and it's someone I haven't seen yet.
Is that essentially like a new game at that point?
I am like 650 chapters into One Piece now, and I am loving it.
So Melania was replaced by Shanks.
Yeah, that's
because she uses one sword, so he's there he only has one arm, and so there's some stuff.
Oh my gosh, he does have one arm. That's so perfect. Yeah, actually hilarious. I love that.
Yeah, so not only that, but these modders, they're so good at the art. They can make things look so good.
Oh yeah.
So like in Fallout, I went through one time because I just felt like doing it. Someone put all the My Hero skins in there, so you could be. So chances are, any anime that you've ever watched, you can probably find a mod to make your characters look like that.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Actually, I'm gonna have to go look more into that.
Fallout also, there's a mod that makes it all look like Star Trek Rebels, and so all the armor for the stormtroopers, so you can walk around and have a bunch of stormtroopers, and you can have lightsabers. Oh, yeah. And then there's some that can make it Resident Evil. Change it into a horror movie.
That would be cool.
There's also the one that's the freakiest mod that I've ever played on Fallout is a T2 mod.
Hey, there we go.
And what it is
T2 in the game? No,
yes.
I'm just kidding.
Well, not this one, but yeah. So
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold shows up and he's your friend. Okay, but then
come with me if you want to live.
How Fallout works? How Fallout works? Whether you pick the woman as the main character or you pick the man as the main character, the other one dies. I'm spoiling, but it's been out for a long time. So
that's the opening of the game.
Yeah, that's the opening of the game. So you'll be in a town somewhere or at a camp, and suddenly your dead wife will show up. Oh, honey, I can't believe, and it's actually a Terminator, and you cannot kill it. I mean, it is so. I was hitting that thing with everything nuclear I could, and had trouble killing it, to the point where I made a settlement that had nothing but missile turrets all around it, firing on it, and still couldn't kill it. It took forever to find a way to kill the thing, to the point where this is what made the game so fun. And I played the game a bunch, and I still do. It's one of my go-tos I go back to. That I was walking around. Did I say Star Trek Rebels? I meant Star Wars Rebels. Zach. Anyway, so I was walking around, and every time she would just show up, and I'd just run because I couldn't figure out how to kill her. And there's also there's a mod where you can actually find your dead wife that she actually got out of the cryo thing and was alive. And she's actually alive, so you can play through the whole game with her. And when you have the dialogue with the NPCs, it's shared dialogue. You switch back and forth, and that's also really cool. So there are games like that you should try modding because
100%.
I mean, modding is so much fun,
and like some of them have like unlimited building, so you can just go in and start building something to the sky. Just to see.
Okay. I was just wondering because
do you play on PC or console?
I play on console now.
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
I'm not familiar with modding on console as much.
I think that there is a way to do it. But
I'm aware that
if you're not actually wanting to mod yourself, you can find a ton of mods. I mean, for both of those games that I just told you, both Bethesda games, both Skyrim and Fallout 4, you can do that. And just have a blast with it. And I tell you what, I just downloaded Fallout 4 in the Nerd Cave in there. So next week I can show you some mods.
Show me some of that stuff.
Yeah, I can do that. So Blizzard just came out and said you will not be able to pay for power in Diablo 4. So
that seems strangely familiar to what they said about Diablo Immortal. And here we are.
Yeah, well,
I have to tell you, I hate that. I hate the fact that you can just go in there and buy strength and power and all that.
According to the article, in order for you to to get special things and stuff, you actually have to build your character for it. They will do seasons. When seasons, they're going to model their seasons after Diablo 3. And Diablo 3 seasons, how that works, you have to start with a brand new character every single time. And you get to keep all the stuff after the season's over. But you start with a brand new character. And you can also take a character that you like the name and everything, and you can start them over at number 1 if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't ever buy anything in game. I don't do that.
I don't do it either.
To me, it's cheating. You're not willing to do it on your own. Now I will do mods, like we just talked about,
right,
but only after I've already beat the game.
Well, but here's the part where it gets kind of sad is that it's like Call of Duty does this, where there are some like, you know, operators and guns and stuff that you can earn, but there are some like skins and everything that you have to buy. You can't just earn it. You have to buy them. And like, I hate that because it's like, well, why wouldn't you put it in the game and let people actually play the game and earn it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that feature.
Well, I think in games like that, if you want to put monetization in, the best way to do it is just cosmetics.
Well, right. But like, I mean, even still, like I remember playing.
I agree with you.
I remember playing, you know, things like Final Fantasy VII, where you had to actually work for ultimate weapons and actually find them and figure out how to kill bosses and all that kind of stuff. Being able to buy that stuff now in games takes that aspect away.
Kids today going out and buying the power. Back in my day, we had to actually earn it.
Yeah,
back in my day, we had to grind for it.
Grind. And then you know what?
I'm just saying
grind some more.
I'm just saying it's sad.
All right, we need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to some more nerdy goodness. We got a ton of things to get to. Even though I thought I had nothing, the show's almost over, and we didn't get to a bunch of it. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD, continuing live on all the stuff that we're continuing live on. All right, so we still have one more breakout. Come back from the round table. Yeah, you're right, Zach.
That's true.
You're right. And yeah, because Maximum Carnage made me so mad. I've mentioned this a bunch of times. We miss Cam too, but you know, he's on a raid right now. He'll be back next week. Hopefully he's winning himself another ring, because who doesn't want to do that? Maximum Carnage on Sega Genesis, to where I would go to work and I would tell my wife, if you come home and it's on, do not turn it off. Do not turn it off, because you could not save the thing. It took me hours to beat it. And the first time I thought I beat it, Carnage raised out of the swamp during the credits and killed me. So I didn't actually beat the game and had to go all the way through it again to beat him. Rob's not listening right now. I know where Rob is, and he's not listening. But he will be Monday, Chris. So, I mean, there's that.
Oh, yeah, Zach, I know exactly what you're talking about. He says way back when you couldn't save or turn your console off.
He just didn't hear us.
Yeah, I know.
We talked about that already.
Just had an entire conversation. Right now, when I stopped talking, that's what I was stopped talking about.
I was trying to do that.
You made me miss.
Well, you should have been paying attention to the trash can.
I was just I'm actually starting to get concerned about the fact that you're sitting in the room and not hearing what we're saying.
Yeah, honestly.
Honestly, like, I don't know why.
If it was work, I'd be okay. And I mean, if you were pretending, I'd be okay. But I don't think it's work. You must learn to let your focus go everywhere at once.
Nope.
I can't do that.
It is necessary for your job.
A little bit.
I know what. I'll get Charlie to give you a talking to, and you'll do better.
Please don't. Okay.
I'm not worried. I have plot armor. At least right now, kind of. All right, I want to start off by talking about the best thing I've seen on TV in, I don't know, maybe a decade. And that happened last Wednesday night when the overrated CM Punk came out and got completely squashed by Jon Moxley, the best wrestler in the world today. And I believe it was 3 minutes and 6 seconds before the match was over and Moxley was crowned the champion. And people were truly stunned in the audience. We had Tony Schiavone on like a few months ago, and he talked about how the audience feels like that they're a part of the show. So they get featured a lot when the cameras turn on the audience and you see a shocked or surprised look. Those guys they're like overacting to try to get themselves on TV. Well, this is one of those moments where they were truly shocked, and I was truly elated. And Chris says CM Punk is old now. Yes, he is old. But there are some people who keep hanging on to what he used to be. And what he used to be was a problem. He's a problem backstage. He's a problem when he goes into business for himself a lot. He does. And I was just glad to see it end. And I hope he's done. I do. I hope he's done so that some other people can get the push they deserve, including Jon Moxley. First two-time champion, and he deserves it. Let's see. Zach says, well, I'm happy Mox beat Punk, rather. I agree with Punk that Mox isn't the best guy in his own group. Yeah, whatever. He is. He's better than Seth Rollins, who's annoying and just has weird clothes. And Roman Reigns is exactly what Vince McMahon wanted him to be. And all these people, he's not our champion. Now he is. And now suddenly it's just because he did what we wanted him to do. Okay, whatever. That's fine. So I needed to talk about that a little bit. I also want to talk about something, and I'm going to ask these guys this question. I want to ask you guys this question also. Does cursing make you an adult? Because I've heard this said many times, they can curse like adults do. Okay. Why does that make you an adult? To me, it just means you lack the intelligence to have a good vocabulary. It doesn't make you cool. It makes you lesser than. And, so I don't get it. And you know who else doesn't get it? Warner Brothers Discovery, because Warner Brothers Discovery has talked to AEW and told them they need to tone it down because they curse too much, which got a lot of the young kids who think being adult means cursing that are into AEW. They chant so much things that you shouldn't say in front of your kids and frankly shouldn't say, period, in my opinion. But and the fact that AEW is showing little kids chanting curses on TV, well, the company has said, nah, you need to stop doing that. To the point where WWE now has had to get rid of their rating and go with a TV 14 rating because the chants that started in AEW have made their way to WWE. And a couple of us can attest to the fact that you can only push a button so many times to dump people. You can only do that so many times. TV, they can only do it so many times. And even if it's a TV taping, if you're constantly pushing the button, then all you're hearing is a bunch of gaps of sound. And I'm glad to see it going away. And I don't get how that's being an adult. And I don't get that. I keep hearing that. Well, they're more adults. They cuss, right? Okay. Do that on the air then. Do that on the air right now. Go ahead. You can't. You know why? Because most companies in their handbooks, including ours, says no cursing.
It does.
Yep.
It does.
All right. Now you got to noob yourself. No, you got to noob yourself. It's all right. We'll wait.
I'm sure you will.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it?
We're waiting.
Saw me push the button.
Should he have to double noob himself because it didn't work the first time?
Well, it's not my fault the button didn't work.
All right. So my rant is over because the segment is over. And we need to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to hit the lightning round. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. You know, this all started, and Zach will remember this, is when, and knows that Seth is not the best in the Shield. Dean Ambrose was. This all started when MJF went off in the ring and dropped F-bombs and a bunch of other bombs and said, there are big wigs in the back from the company right now. We'll see how they like this. And then he was screaming, fire me, fire me, fire me. We haven't seen him since. He's not fired, but we haven't seen him since. So you can, even though I want MJF back because he is the ultimate heel in wrestling, there's no one better than him. I'm not sure he'll ever be back with AEW because I don't think the bigwigs will let him come back.
No, not after something like that.
When you throw it right at them, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that, Mark, that he has issues with both Colt Cabana and Cody. You know, Cody left, though. So, but CM Punk always seems to find someone that he has an issue with. And it causes division in the locker room, which causes division in the company. They just had to have like basically a players only meeting to a degree, even though management was involved with the AEW talent. And they also were looking into the fact that supposedly there might be tampering from WWE, which is not surprising because AEW did the same thing to get some WWE talent. No, Zach, I agree. He needs to come back because they need that ultimate heel because they don't really have that now. Right now it's Christian. And Christian's is too old to be that guy. And now you can't, Kenny Omega's more of a tweener at the moment, so you don't know what he's going to be. House of Black, you can't, I mean, they're just evil. They're not bad guys, they're just evil. And there is a difference. There's a difference in evil and foreboding and someone who's just a bad guy. Yeah, Christian's mic work has been good and been controversial, but he doesn't have the skills in the ring anymore. Zach says they dropped the ball with the House of Black. They have so far. We'll see what they do with Miro. We'll see what they do with that. The fact that they just attacked him, who knows? Maybe he will destroy them. The Redeemer has come. So, I mean, you never know. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Putting the lightning round in. Yeah. Are we doing lightning round?
I hope so.
I thought so. Okay. Yeah. I was making sure. We normally do it.
Yes, Zach, to get the pagans.
Video games to wave update. Is cursing necessary and a lightning round.
Yeah, Trey, because if you wear a turtleneck, you're absolutely a heel. I can't wear a turtleneck because my neck's too big. And I don't live in Ohio anymore, so I don't have to wear turtlenecks or sweaters. I'm not critical of those who do, because we talked about that last week, and Matthew has a sweater, so I would, you know.
Not a sweater vest or anything.
Yeah, well, once you get sweater vests, I mean, you're on a could be on totally different economics. I mean, I think once you reach a certain level of salary.
I used to have a sweater vest years ago, but I don't have one
anymore. Did it have a pocket in it?
I don't think so.
Okay, just check it.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, W has spoken. That means we are in the last segment of this show, which means we got to squeeze in as many things as we possibly can. Dragon Ball Superhero won the box office last week. $20 million or $21 million domestically, outpaced the movie behind it, which was Beast. So Dragon Ball Superhero beat Idris Elba fighting a lion.
That makes me happy.
I mean, you know, and right now, worldwide, it has made over $50 million. That was before this weekend. So the fact it is doing really, really good, that makes us all happy because it was a really good movie. And hopefully that means, see, I don't think Broly had this kind of a release.
No, I don't believe so.
They put this thing in a lot more theaters. So the fact that it's doing really well means the next movie it comes out, they'll put it in more theaters, make it more accessible. Let's see. Batman 2 is going forward. There have been a lot of cuts, as we saw with Batgirl and some other shows and things on with the merger, but Batman 2 is going to happen. So Tim, who hasn't seen the first Batman yet, we'll get to see the first Batman, and we'll get to see the second Batman. By the way, Danny DeVito says his penguin is better than the penguin on the Batman. They're like two totally different things, though.
They're very different things.
Yeah, I mean, the penguin in the latest Batman is a gangster.
Yeah.
And the penguin in the Keaton Batman was a monster.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he looks like a goblin.
Yeah, at least my nose isn't gushing blood. Yeah, that was
kind of gross looking.
He was very gross looking. Just the way his shirt was dirty and it's dingy. And they did that.
But he worked for that movie, but it's just a very different type of penguin.
So I'm looking forward to see what they do with the next Batman and who the villains will be. All right, Godzilla and Kong are teaming up in their next movie. You guys okay with that? Did you see Godzilla versus Kong?
I have not seen it.
You should watch it. It's pretty good.
I don't really care too much about big monster movies anymore.
How dare you, kaiju hater?
I don't hate kaiju or anything. I'm just not it's never been my thing.
All right. Speaking of disaster, over in England, the plan to remove cardboard tubes from rolls of toilet paper has been declared a complete catastrophe. So imagine you go to buy your toilet paper and there's no roll in there. You know how much of a pain that will be? It's especially a pain for people who use those things for arts and crafts. There's a guy who has a hit show, and it's killing his show because he can't find tubes anymore.
Tubes from toilet paper?
Tubes from toilet paper.
Nope.
Have you ever was you ever in Cub Scouts or something like that where you had to do crafts with things?
I've had to do stuff like that before, yeah.
Yeah, those tubes are awesome, especially wrapping paper tubes because they have reach. So
you should try.
Have you hit your children in the head with wrapping paper rolls before?
Yes.
Have you had sword fights?
Of course.
Yes. Okay.
There you go.
There's nothing more fun than that. There is, except for the fact that sometimes they go, "What? I got toys? I don't need those toys." By the way, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You know who he is? All right, I know who he is. These guys don't know who he is.
No.
He's a famous wrestler from back in the day. He's going to be at South Carolina Comic-Con Junior October the 9th. So Comic-Con Junior is coming back. We'll get Rob in as soon as we can. Just saw him this week. Busy as always he is. We'll get him back in. Starting to put out the guests for Comic-Con Junior. Cannot wait to go to that. And yeah, it's not as big as Comic-Con, but it's still a Comic-Con.
As long as they got some vendors there that I can walk around and complain about how I don't have money to spend, I'll be happy.
They absolutely will have vendors. I've been asked before if I wanted a table, and I've always said no. Because I don't want to stand at a table. I want to go. I want to walk around.
Walk around.
I want to walk around and buy stuff.
Yeah, that's what's fun about conventions.
Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Resident Evil, the series, has been canceled.
The one on Netflix?
Yeah, it's been canceled. So there's no more. That's
thank God I didn't start watching it.
Well, you can watch it. It's not that bad. I mean, I kind of liked it. I did.
I started watching the first episode. And I did like it, but I was going to wait for a little while for it to continue to gain more episodes. And now I'm not going to watch it.
Chris says you guys need a table. Like I said, I've been offered a table quite a few times because I know a guy. But I really don't just want to stand there. You know what that becomes? That becomes work.
Yeah.
And I'm not there to work. I'm there to play.
I'm there to walk around, have some fun, and buy things.
Yeah, technically walking around is work for this show. but I want to. I don't want to.
I want to be a part of the action, man.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be a table. I don't want to be. I don't want to be a table, but I definitely don't want to be on a table because of that. But you never know. I might change my mind. Maybe we'll just put Tim at the table.
There we go.
Tim, you okay just working the table all by yourself?
Sure.
People come up and say, "Are you T2?" And you say, "Yeah." And you can charge them like $25 for 8x10.
Maybe we could sell some Upstate Pulse t-shirts.
We could do that. We absolutely could do that.
I'll do with that.
Sell my beautiful headshots.
There you go.
Yeah.
Matthew would charge more than we would because All right. Thank you for listening to the Upstate Pulse, and we hope you have a great weekend. And tell people about us so they can check it out. Also, Views from Mint Street, my new national podcast with Rob Brown for the Panthers. Check that out too on where you get your podcasts. Chris, Russ would not do a table because Russ would not go to Comic-Con.
I did not know that there was a such thing as SC Comic-Con Junior until I saw your email with the outline for today, and I was like, "There's a Comic-Con Junior."
All right, last year was the first year for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is the second one, and that's the first one that Tim went to, and he's like, "I thought it would be bigger," and it's like, "Yeah, it will be." So it's
the big one is.
It's like a fourth of the size. So it's smaller, but they still have guests, and they still have a bunch of vendors.
A fourth of that is still pretty decent.
I know, but I was right though about how much bigger the real one was, though. Yeah. So maybe we get some guests on the show from there. If it's a wrestler, you guys will just have to do some research so you can actually ask some questions.
Oh gosh, me having to do research to ask people questions. It's almost like that's my normal job.
Are we still on stream?
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
I was reading a text that I didn't understand.
I was scared for a second. You were super quiet.
Yeah, I'm sorry because I just I didn't get it, but I'll ask them what that is later. All right, Tim, say goodbye to Facebook and everything.
Goodbye to Facebook and everything.
Matthew, say goodbye to everything.
Goodbye, everything.
Well, not everything, just all this.
Goodbye,
world.
Everything.
And I will say goodbye, adieu, and I'll ask adieu. Where was that? Something you drink. We will
Without further.
Yes, there's that too. We'll be back next week, and also you can check me out on stream, and you can check Tim out, and you check us all out. Later, not now because we're going home. See ya.